Most people don't actually want comfort. They want solace. Because comfort can distract you for a few minutes, a few hours, maybe even a few years. But when life falls apart, when you're grieving, overwhelmed, exhausted, anxious, or questioning everything, some comforts leave you feeling emptier than before. And that's because there's a difference between the things that help you escape suffering and the things that help you carry it. Most people spend years confusing the two. These next series of questions, gonna answer myself. And if you want to learn more about yourself and understand yourself better, then taking the time to answer them for yourself would be ideal. Now, what is solace? When I hear the word, what immediately comes to mind? An acceptance of what is in my control, recognizing that some things are easier and it's healthier to let go instead of holding on, wishing something would be different, wishing things would be this way or that, accepting it for what it is. Almost like a deep exhale of, okay, we can let that go. And not worrying about it, not trying to save it, allowing it to pass. And what experiences in my life have required solace rather than solutions? Aspects of detaching, letting go of, the concept of things that are outside of my control, losing loved ones. I can't change the past. There's no solutions. So acceptance seems to be the only path that leads to more peace that's sustainable. Trying to fight, trying to change what's out of your control, it will leave you exhausted, will leave you defeated, and will disturb your peace, potentially cause unnecessary suffering. It's a process, and easier said than done. What does solace feel like emotionally, mentally, physically, or spiritually? Overall, it feels light. Recognizing what you can be carrying versus accepting that everything is not needed to be carried throughout every day, every month, every year. That acceptance of allowing to leave things in the past. We can learn from them, don't get me wrong, but if we keep replaying them in our mind over and over, we're carrying them into our present, into our future, and most times those don't serve us where we're going. Have there been moments where nothing changed externally, but I still felt that peace? And what was present during those moments? What was abundant during those moments were internal self acceptance, recognizing I'm just one person. The world's problems are not my problems to solve. Therefore, just recognizing it all starts with me, how I perceive it, what lens I view it through. That will determine how much peace can be maintained, sustained in any given situation, whether something doesn't change for my better or something doesn't change for the worst. How I look at it will determine the suffering or peace that would be a result. Additional questions are: what do you reach for when life becomes difficult? What helps you feel grounded when everything feels uncertain? When was the last time you felt genuinely reassured? You can definitely learn a lot about yourself responding to these answers. And then there's healthy comforts versus unhealthy comforts. What unhealthy comforts have I used throughout different seasons of my life? Forms of escape, things of numbing, or things that can numb, avoidance through distractions, and it all boiled down to consuming and more consuming, trying to fill a hole or suppress something by overcompensating with something else. It was always been consumption. Very effective in a temporary sense, but then I felt heavy, physically bloated, mentally fatigued, not clear, and the emptiness or the feeling of lack always returned. No matter how much I consumed, it would never be enough. What was I really searching for underneath those behaviors? A feeling of relief, comfort, looking for solace in all the wrong places. It has to start within. What pain was I trying not to feel? Some could say it's the pain of reality, the suffering that existing in life inevitably comes with. Just knowing that I didn't want to feel that or wanted it to stop or be suppressed. Instead of allowing it to pass and flow through me on its own, I created so many stoppages, and then it just built, compounded. And that's not what healing is. That's not where peace is. How do they affect me in the long term? They delayed my path towards peace, healing, acceptance. But I did learn from them. Often you have to make a lot of mistakes in life before you've had enough and refuse to keep making those same mistakes, as they might not be getting you anywhere closer to where you want to be. That temporary relief, reassurance, comfort. It gets predictable, and it will always feel empty in the long run. More questions to ask. What healthy comforts have actually helped me recover, heal, or gain clarity? The basics, the things that our body essentially needs, the essentials: sleep, quality nutrition, sunlight, movement. Saying no to things that pollute the mind, that hijack attention, that take time away from just being, processing, allowing thoughts, memories, emotions to come and go instead of next digital junk food that just has you fiending for that next hit of dopamine instead of processing your day, past experiences, until you get triggered by something you see and you wonder where that came from. It's because it resurfaced due to a certain stimuli that we experienced. That can be a thread we can pull to find a source of what we've been burying all this time. Which comforts leave you feeling restored instead of depleted? Does your comfort leave you stronger or weaker afterwards? Does it create clarity or avoidance? Are you healing or simply delaying what needs to be faced? We could all be running from something. Or from a different perspective, we could be running towards something. Is the thing you're running towards worth the effort? Worth the exhaustion? Do we have something that is more compelling to us than trying to escape a fear? Fear is natural. Being afraid, worried, uncertain is natural. Many are called, very few answer and pursue what they are called for. And what do we really need during suffering, during this pursuit, during this escape? During the most difficult periods, what actually helped? Was it advice, solutions, people, faith, purpose, movement, nature, rest, or something else? What gave me the strength to continue when I didn't have answers? What helped me trust that I could handle what was ahead? What reminds me that the suffering is temporary? I was singing from the mountaintops, the foundation. Once I established a foundation of health through the basics: sleep, nutrition, hydration, exercise, movement, stretching. My physical body, energy, clarity, wholeness. Borderline unstoppable. If you have your physical health and your mental health, there is practically no challenge that you cannot navigate or overcome. And I will die on that hill. Why do people often search for certainty when what they really need is resilience? People, when are told it's going to be okay, without having to do the effort or action of, if you want things to be okay, you have to do this and you can't do that. It might not be your fault, but it is still your responsibility to survive, to thrive, to overcome. It's not an easy path, but it's also hard to stay where you're at and continue to suffer in different forms of emptiness. Choose your hard. Maybe the goal isn't to build a life free from suffering. Maybe the goal is to discover what provides solace when suffering inevitably arrives. Because every person will experience uncertainty, every person will experience loss, every person will face moments where the future isn't clear. The question is, what will you reach for when those moments come? Will you reach for something that helps you forget your pain for a moment? Or will you reach for something that helps you carry it? The comforts that merely distract us often leave us needing more tomorrow. They're never enough. But the things that provide true solace, our values, our relationships, our purpose, our faith, our health, our creativity, our ability to sit with ourselves, tend to leave us stronger than we were before. And perhaps the deepest form of solace, not the belief that life will always go according to plan, but the quiet confidence that whatever happens, you'll find a way through it. If something resonated with you, consider leaving a comment below and sharing what felt most impactful. To support the channel, you can like, subscribe, and/or share this video with someone who you feel might also benefit. Additional ways to support the channel can be found in the links in the description below. You will also find a link to my website, cravingfreedom.com, where you can access my ebooks. On the website, you can also find descriptions of what to expect from the ebooks. And if you feel ready to commit to your path towards freedom and are seeking in-depth guidance and support, consider applying for one-on-one coaching. Answers to frequently asked questions can also be found on the website. Thank you for your time.